walk us through how you came up with the idea to have that punt block? How you do that up and what you saw?
Well, that's a bunch of us. I mean, we, myself, graduate assistant Parker, every week we come up with both a block and return what we think is best, and some weeks they work and some weeks they don't, you know. But again, it was all about execution of the players. You know, we saw Chris Olave block it, but there, you know, there's Justin Hilliard does a huge part of that block, the way he comes. You know, when you block a punt, it really is a culmination of a lot of people doing the right thing, whether you're setting up the protection or whether you're gobbling up a blocker. And you know, we were able to get Chris free, and then it's always nice when it pops right into somebody's hands and you can turn it into 6 points. That was a big turning point in the game.
Defensively, you mentioned you made some changes in this past game. What were some of those changes you guys made?
I don't think it wasn't schematic changes. It was probably just a little different distribution of the calls. You know, we were a little more aggressive probably, but they gave us an opportunity to be aggressive. They went a lot of 2 tight end sets, which allows you to do some different things. But again, it wasn't scheme. It was guys playing hard and doing their job, and really focusing against a good football team. Like I said, ways to go, but there's a step in the right direction.
How tough was last week for you, though, coming off the 52-51? I know y'all won at Maryland, but you know, all the talk that was going on, et cetera, experts throwing their opinions in there and stuff, but to get this defense ready to play like it did on last Saturday. I mean, how tough was that week, I guess?
Well, there's no disrespect to the experts, but I really don't. I don't. You know, after what is this, 31 years of doing this?
Yeah.
Some years you're a genius, some years you're a doofus, right? I don't believe either of them. I believe you work hard to do your job. You know, God's got a plan for all of us, and that's what we do around here. We work hard, and we have great kids, and we try to put them in a position to do their best.
And speaking of experts, though, a lot of people think that Saturday, if y'all do win Saturday, I know you don't take it for granted, but a lot of this committee may be looking at how y'all's defense played compared to Oklahoma's defense on Saturday. I mean, is there a sense that it is coming together that y'all could have your best game Saturday? What is that sense? You know, what do you have of it?
Well, I didn't think about that, but we try to play our best game every week, and I know that sounds cliche, but we really do. I mean, we spend so much time, coaches and players alike, in each game. And you only have 12 of them, and now we're getting our 13th. You think about it, really, like it was talked about a lot. There's 364 days of preparation for that team up north game, in some way, shape, or form. I mean, more some days than others, but it's never. You know, you're in the building, you see the countdown clocks, you see everything. It is a constant on your mind. So that's a special situation. But every week you pour 100 hours into the preparation for the game, and the players pour a ton of time into it. And we always try to go out and play our best game. So we're going to do that regardless if experts think or committees think. You know, I hope we can do that. But we have a very, a team that's been very successful, and we have to find a way to stop them.
But is there a sense of momentum now, or a sense of things coming together better?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope our players feel they went up against a very good team and performed well. But it doesn't mean anything Saturday, you know. But the momentum, I believe in momentum. I believe, guys, confidence is a big thing.
Is it hard to prepare for since they've changed a little bit throughout the year, or do you feel like maybe with that running back coming on, they've sort of found an identity now?
Well, I think everything starts and ends with the quarterback. Guy's got 51 straight starts. He's an NFL quarterback, so we need to make sure that we understand how that all fits into their entire offense. You know, he's a very accurate passer. He understands scheme very well. You're not going to trick him with coverages and things like that. And you know, although he's thrown 12 interceptions, he's very, very smart with the football. So not all of them, you know, are, he got tricked and he threw a pick. Some of them are tip balls. Some of them, you know, it's not all what you would think. I think he's a fine player. I thought he was a fine player 2 years ago when we played him here, and he's had a knee surgery since and a bunch of wins since. He's a good player.
Greg, is the play that Pete Werner made breaking up that touchdown in the end zone, is that sort of textbook what you teach these guys? We can talk about playing through the ball when they're in pass coverage.
Without a doubt.
What did you see of him on
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, it's a tough assignment, right? Because that's a 6'6", and we talked about it all week. I said, Pete, you can't let that guy start getting up in the air or we're going to have a trouble because we can't reach him. And I thought Pete did a good job. It was a very tough route. He's an athletic big man. Pete ran right step for step with him, and he kind of got bodied away. You know, when you talk about big people, they really have access to the radius that they can create. And Pete really finished the play. He punched it out, and I think that was a huge play in the game.
And on the flip side of that, standpoint for a player like Pete.
Well, I think Pete's coming on. You know, I think Pete's I personally think Pete's season's gone like this, so I think he should have a great deal of confidence. I think Pete's one of the best football players on our team. I'm sorry, you had something.
I was just going to ask him, because you had some DBs who got caught in similar positions but got flagged for DPI. I know maybe some were more, I don't know, actually penalties than others. But just what do you think of where you guys stand in pass defense, and particularly grabbing guys when maybe they have a step on you?
I'm not pleased with it. Yeah, and they were penalties. I mean, you could say they called it tight. Well, if that's the way they're going to call it, they were consistent at least.
Yeah.
You know, they called it tight. But by the letter of law, that's DPI. And we're better than that. We don't need to do that to make the plays. And there's reasons for each one of them, but none of them had to happen. So, yeah, I'm not pleased with that, and we're working very hard this week to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Do you feel like offenses are trying to draw those penalties? It seems...
I think that's taught, you know, but again, don't give them a reason, don't give them a way to draw that penalty. And there's certain technical things that I won't bore you with, but certain technical things that we did on Saturday that put us in a position where we could get flagged.
And did it just pop up out of nowhere? Because obviously you don't teach it, I would think.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
Each one was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was one was an arm bar where the receiver actually grabbed, I can't remember, it was down the sideline. And
yeah, it was on Kendall.
Yeah,
up the right, their sideline.
Yeah.
But again, it's technical, and I'm not going to get into all the technical part of it. But there's a point in that down where he didn't have to get himself in that position, and that's what we trace back. And look, they don't try to do that. Obviously, our guys. You know, sometimes it's lack of focus. Sometimes it's you know, exhaustion, maybe whatever it is. But we have to erase those because you know, you look at it. That was 4 or 5 free plays, and there were some on third downs, first downs. You know, you stop somebody and then you give them another rack of plays. Good football teams, they make you pay for that. So.
Coach,